How do I tell my best friend, both F20s, that I want to stop exchanging Christmas presents? Throwaway account. TL. Dear at end. My best friend is a really great gift giver. I know that she plans gifts really far in advance and always dedicates so much time and thought into them. And I am so grateful for every gift I have ever received because I know how special they are. She'll often take something small I said from years back and make a really meaningful thing out it. And I know she enjoys gift giving, and it is clearly one of primary ways she communicates her love for me and others. I just can't keep up. I've never been a really good gift giver. I often really struggle with forming ideas for upcoming celebrations. And until I'm really under the pump, I come up empty-handed until I find something just alright, or I repeat a similar shtick of reasons why I value who you presents. This just means that I feel so much stress every time I have to celebrate her birthday and Christmas. Especially because I would have received something completely out of this world. I really just feel like my gifts pale in comparison. It's getting to this stage where we've been exchanging presents for 8 years and I'm honestly just starting to feel like I'm running out of steam to keep up and continue thinking of other ideas. It is also hard because I'm neither here nor there when it comes to receiving gifts. I can recognize the hard work and love, but I don't need to receive gifts to know that I'm loved. And so I worry that I don't reciprocate my love well enough because my presents never feel at her level. I want to express to her my gratitude for her gifts, but ask that we just stick to one a year on birthdays, because Christmas and the occasional Valentine's Day is too much for me. I have been able to move away from gift giving with other friends by just casually mentioning it or just mutually ceasing present exchanges, and we now opt for spending time with each other, something I love. I just don't know if this would be really insensitive or soul-crushing, because it's not about her or how good of a friend she is, but really about my insecurity and my differing ways of communicating love. I know I've got to have the conversation, but does anyone have any tips or advice for how I could communicate this in a tactful and non-hurtful way? TLDR. My best friend is a great gift giver and expresses her love through that. But I don't, and so I feel my gifts are incomparable. I want to only exchange presents once a year and opt to spend time with her for other celebrations, but don't know how to deliver this in a sensitive and thoughtful way. Edit. Thank you all so much. I'm trying to get around to reading all the comments, but I just want to say that I appreciate everyone's perspectives and input. It's really been helpful for me to consider different ways of having the conversation and problem-solving our way to a more mutually agreeable situation. Also, yes, she's definitely the Leslie Knope in this instance. Maybe I could suggest Knope Presents 2020. Ha ha ha, please laugh. Hey, guys. This year has been unusually rough on everybody's mental health, including mine. I want to suggest that instead of physical gifts this year, we do something special together to celebrate our friendship, like ice skating, spa day, wine tasting, etc. Suggest the activity you most would like to do, but have a backup just in case. I can start doing the research now and we can try to plan it for early December. Quote. Personally, I sound like your friend. I love giving people gifts and it brings me so much joy than actually receiving a gift. Not to say I don't appreciate presents, because I do very much, no matter how pale they seem in comparison. Giving a gift means more to me than just spending money on someone I love, and if my friends felt they couldn't keep up, I would want them to talk to me about it, but please keep in mind that she may enjoy the act of gift giving and not be bothered by the kinds of gifts you get her, as at the end of the day, you've thought about her. It makes me happy just to know someone has thought about me rather than what the gift actually is. I honestly wouldn't think too hard into it about not getting her gifts of the same level, as we are all different. She probably loves you just for thinking about her and getting her something. It would definitely upset me if my friends didn't want to accept anything from me in terms of gifts, as it really is the way I process my affection and love for people. Hope it works out for you, but communication is key with keeping a good friendship alive. X. This is literally the plot of a Parks and Rec episode. Leslie is super thoughtful and over the top, and Ben and Ann can't keep up. Season 5, Episode 19. Watch it for some good ideas on how to navigate your situation. I don't know if you've ever heard of love languages, but receiving gifts is a love language, like you said. It's the way your friend communicates her love for others, and it's very likely that receiving thoughtful gifts from others is meaningful to her. I am definitely one of those people like your friend. I think you should be careful to explain how you feel really to your friend, because if you don't, it could really hurt her feelings. I'm not blaming you in any way, because I understand that gift giving just isn't your thing. But for people with this love language, it is interest in gifts, and low effort gifts can be interpreted as a lack of love interest itself. Like I said, please explain how you feel to her carefully and in depth, and acknowledge that you are grateful for her gifts. Like someone else mentioned, maybe suggesting spending quality time together as an alternative is a good idea to emphasize that you still love and value her. If she insists on still giving you gifts without getting one in return, please consider letting her do that. As someone with this love language, it took a while for me to accept that giving gifts isn't the way everyone expresses love. And I had to accept that low-effort gifts from friends didn't mean they didn't love me, because they show they love me in other ways. Giving them gifts they love brings me so much happiness anyway. Hopefully after you discuss this with your friend, she'll understand too. I would not feel obligated to give something in return. Or you could even stick to something very easy like a gift certificate to a place she loves. Unless she has said something about your gifts not being up to scratch. Doesn't sound like she has. I don't think she's looking for you to live up to her level of giving. People who put a lot of thoughts into gifts like the giving. I have several friends I gift to who don't give in return, and it has never occurred to me to be bothered by it, because I don't consider that the point of gift giving. I would just talk to her about it. Be honest that you feel your gift giving is inadequate compared to hers, and you love and appreciate how much effort she puts in. But that gift giving is not your thing. She will probably tell you that she loves giving gifts, and you equally reciprocating is not important to her. One thing I want to mention. I don't think you're an asshole for feeling this way, but in a sort of backwards way. If this is what she's good at and how she shows affection, it's a little selfish to ask her to stop because you feel you can't reciprocate. Everyone shows love differently. Of course, if her gifts make you uncomfortable, of course you can ask her to stop. But if you're just stressed because you can't give in the same way, let her keep doing it and work on taking the pressure off yourself. She sounds like a lovely friend. I too have trouble accepting gifts. I feel awkward receiving them. It often feels like someone is trying to buy my affection, and I hate showing affection by buying something. I've talked a lot about this with my therapist, and the conclusions that I came to are: 1. That I need to allow people that I want in my bubble, of course, to show love for me, and that I am worthy of this affection even if it feels like I don't deserve it, or I don't reciprocate in some way. 2. Be open and honest when you are uncomfortable. Like if I am feeling awkward and I'm not grateful enough, simply saying, I really love what you got me. I'm just super awkward about gifts. I truly love it though. Or if you don't understand or appreciate why they got that particular thing, say, oh wow, what's the story behind you gifting me this? Quote. 3. Meet your loved ones halfway. Maybe ask her what she values, and if she doesn't value gifts the same way she loves giving them, get her a cooking class or tickets to a show, or even a gift card with a note. Relationships, even friendships, require give and take. It just depends on how much give and take that each party is comfortable with. I hope this helps. I am still working on this myself. Smile. As a person who loves to give gifts and buys things in advance, I promise it brings me joy to give you a gift and to see you to give it to you. I don't even really want anything in return. I know that can make people feel guilty, but that's how I feel. Is your best friend Leslie? No, because this is literally the plot of an episode of Parks and Recreation. I love giving gifts, and I really love making people gifts. It makes me happy. I do not require the same effort in return at all. Unless she has expressed disappointment over your gifts in the past, I wouldn't stress out so much about matching her gifting energy. If you are truly worried, just ask her how she feels. Or better yet, just ask what she might want or need and go from there when choosing a gift. Not everyone needs 100% surprises. My sis just started college and we wanted to give her something special. She decided to buy something for her dorm room and asked us to reimburse her for it. It might not be the way I generally go about things, but it was what she wanted. I think you should talk to your friend about how hard it is for you to keep up with her and give her the kind of gifts she gets for you. However, I also think that your friend may enjoy coming up with those gifts because she enjoys it. And if you said, "I can't keep up," it's possible she still may want to keep doing something for you, or is fine with you getting her something small. I think talking with her would be the best way forward to start with. As someone who loves to give gifts and put lots of thought into them, most of the time I'm happy to even just receive a gift in return. It makes me know that you are thinking of me and put at least a small thought as to what I may enjoy. I suggest talking to your friend honestly and getting their opinion on how they feel. Just be honest with them about how you're feeling and that you want to know their feelings too. Then you can come to some sort of arrangement with a better understanding of each other. Have you spoken to her about this? My best friend is like this? I'm very much not. For years I just felt awful because she'd be sending me spectacular things. I would just send her little things I found that reminded me of her, but never anything extravagant or that I put a ton of thought into. Finally, I spoke to her about what I felt was a horrendous quality discrepancy in her gifts being so much better than mine. She told me the gifts I give her are actually some of her most treasured possessions, because she loves gift giving so much. A lot of other people felt the same way and just stopped giving her anything. Their logic being, why bother? They can never compete with what she'd give them, as if it's a competition. And she just took it in stride because she's an angel of a human and honestly never expected anything in return for her gifts. Turns out though my little things wound up meaning a lot to her. My trick is don't aim to buy for specific events. Just go about life. And if you happen to be in Target and see a $3 teacup that's her favorite color or whatever, get it. Oh, a little beanie baby at a thrift store that's the same breed as her dog? Perfect. Hell, sometimes receiving a box of tiny little things is way more fun than one huge present. So you can do something like that. A big box of assorted candies and silly fun toys is always a winner. So have you ever heard of the 5 love languages? This can translate even if you aren't in a romantic relationship. Gift giving is a way she shows her love, and it's okay that that doesn't mesh up with your way. How do you like to show someone you love them? Maybe it's a dinner or quality time? Maybe it's that hug when you guys see each other after not for a few weeks or days. You don't have to give gifts to show you love her and appreciate her as a friend. Do it how it suits you. Be honest about it, and I'm certain she will appreciate the way you show your love to her. I bet she has a running list. That's how I do it. I take note of every little thing a loved one says or mentions, wanting and build a list of it. My husband's list has around 20 items on it at any given time, and when Christmas or a birthday hits, I just have to choose from it. I do this for my parents, siblings, and in-laws. I'd guess if your friend is like me, she really enjoys giving the gift. Maybe consider continuing and either try the list idea for better gifts or just get comfortable with the fact that being an epic gift giver probably brings her a lot of joy and has very little to do with what she gets in return. Is her friend Leslie? Nope. Instead of exchanging gifts, my best friend and I exchange homemade cards for birthdays, Christmas, with a letter inside. The cards are like a time capsule of our friendship, so we both try to include memories of the year and inside jokes that are relevant. It's a lot more heartfelt and an elaborate gift, and also something meaningful that we both keep and look back on every once in a while. We also make each other friendship cards when one of us is feeling really down or going through something. The other will make a card to remind the other of all of the things we love and fond memories to cheer up the other. It's honestly the most meaningful thing, and I can't recommend it enough. You're more likely to keep a card and a gift through the years as we get older. I don't want stuff, just tokens. Maybe suggest a similar exchange? Then your friend can use her loving gift-giving energy, and you can spare yourself the stress. I've been through a similar situation with my two best friends. One of them is just the world's best gift giver, A, and us other two, me and B, are struggling to keep up. Friend B talked to each of us separately about moving away from physical presents to experience-based ones. B and I added that nice dinners and massages are our new favorite activities together. However, one of friend A's primary love languages is gifts, so we compromised by getting her to send us lists of either specific items or categories of things she'd like each birthday, holiday. Now, our primary gift is doing the research to find the perfect option for that category, instead of trying to guess what I has and doesn't have. It's still some work, stress, but I respect that we each have different love languages and want to make sure she feels loved, so I'm willing to put in the effort. Last year my friend group tried to transition into doing a Secret Santa, but doing that really highlighted who cared about giving gifts and who didn't. I technically still haven't even received mine, despite the fact I got the person I dislike the most, but I gave them a hand-painted picture frame that had her and my friend and their dog in it, plus some of her favorite candy, the lip balm she asked for, $5 Starbucks gift card, and wrapped in her favorite color. So this year we're simply doing nothing, and we all acknowledge that any gift giving is not expected to be returned, which I'm fine with. I like giving gifts, and I honestly don't ever expect anything more than a thank you. That said, it sounds like you've gotten great suggestions already about this friend, and I think it's important to just be honest with her if you can't get her to compromise on giving you a gift. If I were you, I'd tell her you have no problem accepting a gift if she insists, but you'd prefer your gift to her in return be time spent together or a handmade card. Maybe you two can do a craft day and make items out of clay for each other or paint something. Good luck! As someone whose primary love language is gift-giving, I know I'm a great gift giver, and I also know that in the process I've definitely had people feel like I stepped them up on gifts or that they can't compete. But here's the thing, I hate receiving gift. Hate it. So when I had a few friends come up to me with this similar issues, I was so relieved. Most people whose love language is gift-giving will completely understand where you're coming from. NBC, we're so what at what we do, we'll come up with other gifting ideas, like just giving homemade cards, baking for each other, only 1 to 2 gifts each, stick to a theme, taking each other out to dinner, etc. With friends I adore but are difficult to give gifts, I usually invite them to lunch or tea time at their favorite places. Of course, my treat. They are always really happy, and I love that we can spend time together.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.